Lots of people have experienced loss and bereavement this year, and unfortunately we are no exception to that as well. However, despite all that, and this really is at the heart of this documentary, is that good things can come out of this. Positivity can be found within all of this. And I think bringing things back to, the businesses and the entrepreneurs that we've been speaking to, there are opportunities everywhere. No matter what is happening in the world, what kind of curveballs you're thrown, you can get something out of it. Yeah. You can make something positive, and you can. And people are always there to help other people as well. And I knew that was happening. It was just a matter of finding it and capturing it.
I think positivity gets buried, and it's just about shining a light on it as well.
Certainly before lockdown, everyone felt like you were almost on a hamster wheel, and you start going and you just have to keep going and going and going, and things happen at a very fast pace. In many ways, it has provided a unique opportunity to actually pause, stop and reflect and really understand and think about your purpose and what you want to achieve with your business, and to see how you can actually really make a difference. And I think for me that was something that possibly wouldn't have happened without lockdown, because I think I would have just kept moving with the momentum of the world. It's very hard to actually stop and the momentum of things under normal circumstances, and I think that lockdown provided an opportunity for people to be able to pause and reflect. And I think that people that can adapt and see opportunity and stay positive in a situation like we've been in, I think it's something that's really powerful and can change the way that you see the world.
I've learned that I am quite resilient when the shit hits the fan, or when bad things happen. I think finding the joy in the simple things again, and really thinking about what's important to me going forward, and to the family as well. The weather's been nice, so we've enjoyed barbecues in the garden, trips to the beach. The last 5 weeks we've been doing like a family quiz night, so there's me, my mum and dad, and my brother, my sister, my uncle, my cousins and stuff. We all descend on house party, and somebody prepares 4 rounds of questions, and stuff like that would never have happened. We might have seen these people maybe once at Christmas, Boxing Day, or if that. And so that side of it, you think, God, there is 100% good things have come out of it. What also has been good is, from a business point of view, is the communication that we've had with the clients throughout. Yeah, it makes you feel like your business is more than just like a financial transaction with somebody for a service that they're getting. It makes it feel like your sort of life is interwoven with their lives a little bit, which is part of the fun of running a business, I think.
Positives from the lockdown is I've been able to work from home, so I've seen my son, I've seen my other half every day, and it's been miles better. And knowing that I can do that in the future as well, so I don't need to be there. Now I've got the computer set up and the remote access. That hasn't been without its teething problems, but we're now getting that nailed down, because obviously everybody in the country is trying to do the same thing. But now I've got all that access. It's probably not great for the staff, because now I can watch everything they're doing no matter where I am. So they're constantly getting text messages. I've just looked at this file. Why have you written that? Why have you done this? Why have you done that? But they'll get used to that probably eventually, maybe. So yeah, that's a definite positive, is that my family life has improved dramatically.
My life, our family life and our business can be far more balanced. I'm not going to do the amount of travelling. I don't need to do the amount of travelling. I think one of the nice things is my clients have also recognised now that we don't all have to be in the same room to do this. I can expand the business globally. I can reach far more people without leaving the office. Over the last few weeks, I've done sessions with guys in Norway, and I've done an hour session, which we wouldn't have done before, because it doesn't justify you going to Norway just to do an hour's work. The opportunities are really going to open up, but also the ability to do that in a very controlled way, a way that actually serves everybody far better. It's given a lot of people a brand new perspective, and it's it's made us question the priorities. Lots of things I think people will ditch because they'd got into a habit, it had become default, but actually it wasn't a healthy default. And the very fact that it's made us stop and question what we were doing, why we were doing it, what's really important, I think that's a major benefit to me of lockdown. I know there are things that we won't be doing the same way, but I've also seen in a lot of other people that there's definitely going to be a shift in the way they do things in the future as well.
Best thing about lockdown has been taking a step back and just seeing it as a building, seeing it how customers might see it when they come through the door, take like the heart out of it and look at it and see what can we do, what can we change to make this even better than what it was. We're closed now, we don't have to worry about where we need to be open for this or that. We can actually plan, we can make it bigger, we can make it better, get all the repairs done, put lots of new equipment in for the little ones, just make it the place that I actually know it can be that we didn't have the time to do beforehand.
It's had a positive impact on families. Children spending time with parents that they wouldn't normally spend time with, and I think that's been a positive thing. You see a lot more parents doing things, interacting with the children a lot more, and it's nice that the children get time to do this.
Now my why is to build a life for my daughter where I'm not out doing a 9-to-5 job and she's not seeing me all day and we're not apart all day, and I can be at home with her and I can have a balance between helping dogs and helping dog owners and being at home with my daughter, and we can have the life that I wanted to have, which involves a lot of dogs, a lot of being outside, a lot of nature.
To slow life down a little bit. I think that's a really valuable thing for us all to experience. So I'm really hoping that we manage to learn some of those things and take them forward back into normal life when that does eventually come back. It's given us all a moment to like reassess what we're doing with our time and our priorities and our life, basically.
Yeah, I think it's been really good just to have a bit of breathing space. I think prior to lockdown, it was very much about keeping the wheels turning. It felt super busy. We were working really long days, 7 days a week, and it was really draining, and there wasn't really a work-life balance there at all. And I think lockdown sort of forced that break, and it was a very definite cut-off. And so we just sort of reassessed actually what do we want to achieve with the business and with our lifestyle.
Another positive, I think, is just focusing on slowing down. And it's amazing how sometimes slowing down can actually speed things up because you just take that time to rest and it gives you more energy and life to move forward, which is what we need.
Well, the biggest thing I've seen is that if businesses really want to put their minds to it, they can pretty much achieve it. I've seen restaurants start takeaways that they've never done before. I've seen shoe shops doing deliveries, local deliveries, and it's just really gave them the ability to adapt to their local audience.
I've tried to embrace the opportunity, and I've quite enjoyed the chance to take a step back from my business too, and to do some of the things that maybe I haven't had time to do previously, and to really appreciate some of the things that again maybe you take for granted.
My best advice to people is just to take it right back now, to just slowing down, work out, am I doing what I really want to do? If not, why not? And then when you start to answer those questions, you can then start to get a little bit of clarity of what the next step might be. It doesn't have to be the next step, it's just what it might be. And the future is going to be different. But the future is only scary if you try to avoid it. Whenever I put a plan in place, whenever I sit down and we either put a business plan in place or we put a financial, personal plan in place, or even if we just plan a holiday, we get clarity. We start to get ideas. We start to become creative. And I believe this is the time, instead of trying to find opportunities, I believe this is the time to start to create opportunities. And that would be the one piece of advice I would give someone is stop going in search and finding something. Pause, stop, and start looking at creating something. Because right there and then, you'll start to see your opportunities that are right in front. You'll see the next step.
Actually, there's lots of good things that I think have come out of lockdown, new ways of working. People have to think differently. So in terms of being creative, being innovative, pivoting, learning how to be more resilient. You can't afford to stand still. If you want to survive and thrive beyond COVID, you've got to get your act together. You've got to ensure that you have your team of people still working productively, whether remotely or now back in the offices or in manufacturing sites. And you've got to step up that leadership bar. You've been through a knock as the business leader, as the business leader, but your team have been through a lot too. Your customers have, your suppliers. And I think that one of the best things is relationship building. Relationship and that sense of strong community support is stronger now more than ever. Businesses working together in collaboration, networks, people sharing and really caring. I think that's, for me, one of the best things that I've seen.
In light of everything that's happened in lockdown, my advice to business owners, small, medium, large, would be to develop better communications with your clients. Friendly, real-life communications. So when, as an example, when the lockdown hit, nobody really felt like doing anything. I didn't really feel like doing anything. But it's totally okay to just show up and communicate with your clients and say, hey, I feel terrible, I know you do too, but I'm here for you if you need anything. And that kind of communication, people remember that, so yeah, even if you don't feel like it, just being real, being yourself, telling people how you feel, it's a fantastic way to forge a connection and just make them see that you're a real person,
One of the things that independents have that a big multiple chain doesn't is that they are rooted in their community. They know the people, they know the place. If something isn't working, they can change it. And so certainly, I think, talk to your customers, find out what they want, find out if you're serving them in the right way, if they want to access different products or to buy products from you in different ways, try and embrace that.
Obviously, we all as business owners have to adapt to the changes that are coming. I don't think any of us can open and operate the same way in which we were before. So I think it's just remember the reason as to why you have that business open. Why is it that you're doing it? What is it that you enjoy about doing the job you can do, and learning from what you have, what can you make better in your business, from that, really.
My advice to any business, if we were to ever to be in a situation like this again, and I guess, not even just lockdown, I think it ultimately comes to change, and I think it's about being agile, the willingness to adapt, the willingness to look at things differently. And to seek opportunity that is there. I think there's always opportunity. It's just about finding it and really understanding what is happening around you and what's going on in the world, what's affecting all of your stakeholders and how their needs are changing, and adapting to that to ensure that you continue to serve your customers.
We don't know what's around the corner, do we? Because that's a massive takeaway, isn't it? Who'd have thought that all of these things would have happened, that we would literally go from going about our lives and going into, getting on the train or getting in your car every day, going to work, and then just skid to a halt. You just don't know what's around the corner, do you? So I guess it's made us all think that we need to kind of be a little bit prepared and not take things for granted as well, whether that's going and seeing your mum or getting on the train or being able to go to the shop a few times a day or going to the pub. The pub, I've missed the pub. That sounds so shallow, doesn't it? But yeah, not to take life for granted.
The biggest lesson, I think, is that you just never know what's around the corner. So for all that you can feel like things are really going well, like you're riding high, something completely outside of your control can come and swipe that out from under you. It's definitely taught me that I need to be more diligent with my preparation in terms of just business interruption preparation. I think, having a slush fund that's available, looking at things such as what would happen if we couldn't all be in the same place. Things that you just never ever think will happen, but you do need to have contingencies for.
One piece of advice I would give to others after all of this lockdown stuff would be, don't be afraid to put yourself first. Like, look out for yourself and look after yourself. I think the sad reality is that a lot of people have been made more lonely and more solitary as a result of lockdown. But I think that, linking back to what you've said, Naomi, you have to be able to sort of use whatever's happened as fuel, to bring about positive change. And even if the lockdown has meant that you haven't been able to see your family as much, or you've only been able to do Zoom quizzes rather than actually seeing people and all that stuff, maybe it's brought you closer together in a way. And if that's happened, then that's good. No one wanted this to happen. No one wanted this situation, and we don't want for it to happen again. But I think you just have to try and see the positives in it and try and see the opportunities as well. So on that note as well, I think for business owners and for entrepreneurs and self-employed people and people who are working in businesses, everyone really, I think you need to be nimble and agile. You need to be forward thinking. You need to try and future-proof yourself where possible. Try and be innovative. Try and think outside of the box. I think you need to be visible and present. You need to have a presence online. It needs to be really obvious to people what you do and why you do it. And it's funny because this is the type of thing that I say to our clients all the time when when they come to us and say, Alex, we want to make a video that promotes our business. What do we do? And these are the types of questions and statements that I put forward to people, is that, like, is it really obvious that you are the best in your field and that you are passionate and that you are a real human person, not a logo, and that you are passionate about things and you care?
The default of the past isn't going to be the default of the future, but equally the default of lockdown isn't going to be the default of the future either. So there needs to be a hybrid, and that hybrid is going to be pretty personalised. I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all in here at all. I was with a client just the other day talking about how the future's going to look, how they're going to integrate remote working and office working in together, how they're going to use lots of the real benefits of lockdown, but also understand that there were lots of benefits to doing things pre-lockdown, and understand when do we need to be together, when don't we? What's the value of pulling people into the same room, and when do we not need to do that? When should we not have the travel and the expense and the logistical hassle of doing it? So it's about melding that future together in a way that actually serves us, and making some deliberate choices, not being on autopilot for it. That I think is a major opportunity in the future.
Let's just slow things down. Let's take stock of what we've got. It's really important to look at what we have. We're often in such a rush. We're busy people. Anybody who's got a goal or a target or a business or something that they're working towards, by definition, you become really busy. We shouldn't be so busy that we lose track of what we've got. So being grateful for what we've got.
I hope that people just, I hope that they take something from it and realise that life isn't all about rushing around, and because they've had this quiet time now and they've learned to appreciate the people around them, and I hope that carries on, and that it's not all about work and day-to-day life. It's about spending time with people. So yeah, that's probably what I miss the most.
All of the love and support that we've been given by the customers, it's absolutely blown me away. I don't think I'll ever forget, like, all of the lovely little messages and things. I'm filling up again. I just think it reminds me of what Moobers is, why we do this job, why we're here, because sometimes you get carried away in your day and you actually forget why we started off, why we think Moobers is different to everyone else, why we do what we do. It's not a job. we love it, but sometimes you get carried away in the busyness of it all and the day-to-day running of it all, that you forget them little things that makes us what we are. And I just think that's what I'll take away, the support and the loyalty and the love that we've had from all the customers. I just won't forget that.
I hope on a global level, it means that we do cut our emissions. It means that we do question what we spend our time and money on, that we find more valuable ways to spend our time and money, more fulfilling ways to spend time and money, and that we actually focus on the really genuinely important things in life.
When we started making this documentary, I had no idea what it was going to look like. I didn't know what the final format was going to be. I didn't know who was going to see it, who would watch it, if anyone, who would even want to be involved, if anyone. I had more of a gut feeling that I should do something and that it might do some good, so it was worth doing. So my hopes for this documentary are that simply that it helps some people in some way, even if just in a small way. If you've watched this and you've taken away a bit of inspiration, or you've suddenly got an idea from something that someone has said, or that you've learnt something, or you might want to get in touch with someone that you've seen on this film because something that they do might be useful to you, anything like that, really though, I do hope that it helps people to reevaluate where they're at now, having gone through lockdown and probably still going through some kind of lockdown. I hope that people take some positives away from it more than anything. I think really my ultimate goal is just that people get some sense that despite, no matter what happens, even if it's as terrible and as terrifying as a pandemic, that there are opportunities and there are positivities in there, that there is good stuff, and that good people will help out other people.
Yeah. Filming this documentary has helped me grow. It's helped me become better at being an assistant to you, and I've become a better filmer, etc. And the people I've met, the conversations we've had have helped me grow, have helped me see lockdown in different ways. So I hope that that's what other people get out of it as well, that they can see how people have survived and grown as well and can relate to it too.
Mm-hmm.